everybody and welcome back to Deb Creates, and today it's the long-haired grey cat and his name is Marley. So here's Marley. So Marley is knitted in, this is a kind of scarf wool, and the reason I bought it was because I saw it cheap in the charity shop and I thought that might make an interesting cat. So I bought some. Unfortunately there wasn't very much of it, so there wasn't quite enough to make the whole cat with. So here and there I've added in a bit of some long black sparkly wool that I've got. So he has some odd patches here and there of the sparkly wool to sort of make the wool go further, but I very quickly decided that the sparkly wool, in particular this black one, is really horrible to knit with, and you can't see where your stitches are, and it's just a nightmare really. So I only used it very sparingly and then thought better of it. So I did manage to find some in just the grey without the fleck in it. So this one's sort of grey and black flecky, but this one's just grey. And I found this grey one also in the charity shop and thought I might just have enough to finish him if I don't put the fur all the way down his legs. And so that's what I did. So good points and bad points about hairy wool. So it's wonderful for when you stitch him up. You can't see where you put his legs on, where you put his head on, his ears. You can't see any of that. So it's a great disguise for anything that that you might not do too brilliantly. So so that is the good side of this wool to use. But the downside is when you're doing things like increasing and decreasing and lots of different little bits and shaping and bits and pieces, it really isn't very good for that, because it's very tricky, for me at least. I find it very tricky to knit with. So so interesting project, and I think he's come out really well. So he's got toy eyes there, toy cat eyes there. I left his nose, I just did him in the black wool for his nose, so I could put his nose on and his whiskers in. It just seemed a bit more, a better way to do it really. I've knitted him a little collar, and so I just knitted him a black collar, and to stop it from rolling up, which they can roll up, I've doubled it over, so so it's like double thickness, and that will stop it from rolling on the edges. And I've just stitched 2 little buttons on the front for him. So that's his collar. So there he is. Anybody who's been interested in my cats, he's the second cat video, knitted cats video. So there he is. By the way, he's got one black leg there and one grey leg there, and I put a little bit of the grey off that leg onto the front just as a patch, just to tone him in really, and all for the same reasons. I'm using little odds bits and pieces of wool, and they're all running out before I can finish him. So so that meant that he had to have his legs 2 different colours, and different colours from his front legs, and then I'm trying just to tone it in a little. He's got the paw shapings that you do by stitching in and pulling tight to give his paws there some shape. He's got a little bit of what you do is you kind of stitch through the tail and gather it up to bring it round a little bit, so it hasn't got actually strengthener in it, but it has been pulled tight so that it gives a little bit of a curl there on the ends. And that's Marley really. His whiskers, just the grey wool, the same grey wool as I've used here. I just threaded through the needle, so that's his whiskers. His nose with the lighter grey wool just stitched over in his mouth, and that's about it. So that's Marley. So I think he came out really well, and I really like him. And if you really like him, give me a thumbs up. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, there will be more knitted cats and dogs coming up shortly. Thank you for watching.